In quantum mechanics, today we are going to start a new chapter which is quantum dynamics. In fact, this quantum dynamics is a very important chapter of quantum mechanics, and you will see actually the equations of motion for a dynamical system, particularly the quantum mechanical dynamical system, in this chapter. In fact, when you say equation of motion, that means we deal with the evolution of the system in time. So how this time evolution occurs in quantum mechanical system, this is the core subject matter of this chapter. But in this first lecture on this quantum dynamics, I would like to introduce you this chapter. Nothing will be discussed here in particular theory, but we will see just an overview of the chapter, or you can say we are going to see a brief introduction regarding this quantum dynamics. So in fact, first of all, we will see the dynamical approach of our classical mechanics, and then just by comparative study, we will see what happens in case of the quantum mechanics. So first of all, you should know that whenever you deal with dynamics, so what is the core problem of dynamics? First of all, we have to know this. In fact, basically you can say that the problems of dynamics are firstly to determine the variables or parameters that specify the state of a physical system. In fact, you can say that there are two basic problems which we discuss in dynamics, and as I have told you, the first problem is what? The first problem which we solve in dynamical problems or in dynamics is to determine the variables, or you can say the parameters, and those variables are actually the quantities which measures or which specify the state of our physical system. And once you determine the variables or parameters, then the second problems come into picture. And what is that second problem which we discuss in the dynamical problem? Actually, the second problem is to describe the evolution of the system in time. How the state of the system changes with time. This is the core problem of the dynamics. So, in brief, you can say that the dynamics are concerned firstly to determine the variables or parameters that specify the state of our physical system, and secondly to describe the evolution of the system in time. Now, in fact, in classical mechanics, what are the dynamical variables? In fact, in classical mechanics, there are two types of dynamical variables. First one are actually position coordinates, which you denote by the symbol R or Q. In fact, when you write R, that means you are talking about the position coordinate in Cartesian coordinate system. But in classical mechanics, we also use a generalized position coordinate, and that generalized position coordinate is denoted by the symbol Q. Definitely, we have studied these things in your classical mechanics course. And the second dynamical variable of the classical mechanics is actually the velocity or momentum. And this velocity, or you can say generalized velocity, is denoted by the symbol Q dot, and the generalized momentum is denoted by the symbol P. So once you decide the dynamical variables, then we actually write the equation of motion, and the aim of this equation of motion is what? Actually, the equations of motion which describe the actually describe the evolution of the system in time, or you can say that the equation of motions actually describe the system or time evolution of the system, or you can say the temporal development of the system. And as it discuss or describes the temporal development of the system, so definitely the equations of motions are actually the differential equations, and those differential equations are in terms of the state variables, that is the position coordinate and the momentum coordinate or velocity. Now, if you know the state of a system at an initial moment, let us say at time t naught, then by solving the equation of motion of the system, it is possible to find the state of the system at any time t. And this is actually the basic problem which we discuss in classical mechanics. In fact, in any dynamical problem, the initial state of the system is defined, and by using the equation of motion, we easily find the state of the system at any later time t. In fact, in classical mechanics, we will see that the equations of motion are in fact a second order differential equation in terms of the coordinates. Why in fact these equations of motions are second order in time, you can understand. As you know, velocity is simply the first order time derivative of position, and as velocity in classical mechanics is treated as an independent variable, and it is already, or it can say these velocities are themselves first order derivative of position coordinate, so definitely this will be a second order derivative of position coordinate. And that's why in classical mechanics our equations of motion are of second order differential equation in time. Now, what are the equations of motion in classical mechanics? Definitely we have studied the different formulation of classical mechanics. In fact, when we study classical mechanics, you have seen there is Newtonian formulation of classical mechanics, Lagrangian formulation of classical mechanics, Hamiltonian formulation of classical mechanics, and Hamilton-Jacobi formulation of quantum mechanics. So basically you can say that there are four formulation of classical, not quantum mechanics, but classical mechanics. And what are the equations of motion in these four formulation of classical mechanics? Definitely you have studied in your course on classical mechanics. And if you have not studied, go through my video on classical mechanics where you will find these things very clearly. So I am just giving a list of these equations of motion of classical mechanics in different formulation. So first of all, you will see number one, the Newtonian formulation of classical mechanics. Newtonian formulation. In Newtonian formulation, the equation as I have told you, I will just mention the equation of motion, and nothing will be discussed in very detail here. So you know, in Newtonian formulation, the equation of motion is given like this: F equal to mass times acceleration. A is here acceleration and m is mass of the particle. And you know, acceleration is simply the first order time derivative of velocity v. So this is m dv dt, and equivalently you can write this like this: m d dt, and as I have told you that this velocity v is the first order time derivative of position coordinate r. So this equation may be written as m d2r by dt square. This is actually the Newton's second law of motion, which is known as equation of motion in Newtonian formulation. And this is a basic equation. It is studied in very lower classes, and definitely you have studied it. Now, the another formulation of classical mechanics is Lagrangian formulation. Lagrangian formulation. In course of Lagrangian formulation, you have studied the Lagrange equation of motion. Here I am just writing this Lagrange equation of motion for a conservative system, not for a non-conservative system. I am just going to write this. You can see this Lagrange equation is given as d dt del L by del QK minus del L by del QK, and this equal to 0. You know, in fact, in this equation is known as Lagrange equation of motion for a conservative system. And you know this L is what? This is actually T minus V, kinetic energy, T for kinetic energy, V for potential energy, and this is called Lagrangian of the system. Lagrangian of the system. And you know this QK are actually what? These are generalized coordinates. Del L by del QK dot is here. Here there will be dot. Generalized coordinates. Generalized coordinates. And QK dot, these are actually the generalized velocity. In fact, here this K is a subscript whose value is 1, 2, 3 and so on up to F. You know, here F is actually the degree of freedom of our system. So this Lagrange equation represents not only one equation, but it represents F equations. So this is the Lagrange equation of motion of classical mechanics. Now, the another formulation of classical mechanics is Hamiltonian formulation. Hamiltonian formulation. This is third formulation. Hamiltonian formulation of mechanics or classical mechanics. In Hamiltonian formulation of classical mechanics, actually there are two sets of equation of motion. First of all, we write the equation of motion proposed by Hamilton, which are known as actually the Hamilton's canonical equations of motion. And what are these equations? You can see, you have definitely studied these. QK dot, which is actually dQK by dt, dQK by dt, and this is equal to del H by del PK, and PK dot, which is in fact dPK by dt, and this is equal to minus del H by del QK. These are Hamilton's equations of motion. And apart from this, we also write an equation of motion in Hamiltonian formulation of mechanics in terms of a general dynamical variable. let us say that general dynamical variable is, let us consider A, then we write the equation of motion in this form. This is dA by dt equal to del A by del t plus Poisson bracket of the variable A with the Hamiltonian H. In fact, as you know, in this equation, H is what? You know it. This H is actually T plus V, that is sum of kinetic and potential energy, and this is called Hamiltonian of our system. Hamiltonian of the system. Hamiltonian of the system. And you know that QK is generalized coordinate, PK is generalized momentum. And as I have told you, this A, what is this A? A is actually, in fact, in general, a dynamical variable which is a function of the generalized position coordinate Q, generalized momentum P, and time T. So you can say that this A is equal to A QK PKT, and this is a dynamical variable. And this symbol in A comma H inside a curly bracket, what does it refers? Actually, this refers Poisson bracket of A with H. So this is Poisson bracket of dynamical variable A with H. And in fact, this Poisson bracket of dynamical variable A with H is defined like this. This is summation over K del A by del QK times del H by del PK and minus del H by del QK times del A by del PK. This is actually just the definition of Poisson bracket. And apart from this Hamiltonian formulation of mechanics, you also study Hamilton-Jacobi equation of motion in classical mechanics. And that Hamilton-Jacobi equation you may write like this. So Hamilton-Jacobi form of equation of motion. And what is this form of equation of motion? We write this equation of motion in this way. This is del S by del T plus H equal to 0. This is actually known as Hamilton-Jacobi equation of motion. So, in fact, here this S is what? S is actually known as action variable. S is action variable. So these are the equations of motion used in classical mechanics in different formulation. But aim of all these equations of motion is same. And what is that aim? As I have told you earlier, by the use of a equation of motion, actually we find the state of a dynamical system at any time t if its initial state of motion is known. So solving any of these equations, you can find the state of the system at later time t if its state is known at the initial time t0. And this is all about the equation of motion of classical mechanics. And in classical mechanics, how the state of the system is described, so you can see from these equations. But our present concern is not about the classical mechanics, but that is about the quantum mechanics. And the situation or the scenario in quantum mechanics is entirely different from that of the classical mechanics. So now we will see how we will deal with the dynamical problem in case of quantum mechanical system. In fact, in quantum mechanics, the state of a physical system is represented by a vector, and that vector is defined in an abstract space, which is called a Hilbert space. Actually, this is nothing, this is simply the second postulate of the quantum mechanics. And what is that? That postulate is what? That postulate says that if you want to describe the state of a physical system or a quantum mechanical system, then definitely you have to represent the state of the system in terms of a state vector, or you can say by a state vector, which is also called in fact wave function, and that state vector is defined in an abstract space which is called Hilbert space. So the quantum mechanical picture is different from the classical mechanics approach. So now we will see these things is how dealt in quantum mechanics. As I have told you, in quantum mechanics, a state of a physical system is measured, or you can say the specified or the represented by a state vector. So in quantum mechanics, a state of a dynamical system is represented by a state vector, or you simply say vector. A state vector. Normally we denote this vector by psi or ket psi. This is a state vector, psi or ket psi. And this state vector is defined in an abstract space, and that space is called Hilbert space. So you can say this is defined in an abstract space which is called Hilbert space. Hilbert space. And therefore, the equation of motion for a quantum mechanical system could be a differential equation for the state vector. So therefore, equation of motion is in terms of the state vector psi. However, the observable quantities are not the state vectors, but the expectation value of a set of Hermitian operators corresponding to the dynamical variables can be taken as a quantity in terms of which you can write the equation of motion, or you can describe the state of the system at any later time t. So actually the equation of motion in quantum mechanics is therefore concerned with the evolution of time in the expectation values of the observables. So you can say equation of motion is in terms of the expectation value of an observable corresponding to a particular state, let us say psi. Now you have studied expectation value of an operator, or you can say Hermitian operator corresponding to a dynamical observable in the previous lectures in very detail. So if we consider that there is a Hermitian operator, let us say a hat, this is a Hermitian operator, corresponding to a dynamical variable, or you can say dynamical observable, let us say A. It means A is the observable, you know, that is a measurable quantity, and corresponding to this observable the Hermitian operator is a hat. As you know from the postulate of quantum mechanics, that in quantum mechanics we always associate a Hermitian operator corresponding to an observable. So here I have considered an observable A, and corresponding to this observable A, this A hat is actually the Hermitian operator. Then the expectation value of this operator A hat in the state represented by a normalized state vector, let us say psi, is how defined. You have already studied these things in the previous lecture. So you can say the expectation value of the operator A hat in the state represented by the state vector psi, or you may call it ket psi or ket psi, is given by, you know how this expectation value of this A hat is defined. In fact, you can write this expectation value of A hat in the state psi. So here I have specified its state. This expectation value is corresponding to the state psi. And you know from the definition of expectation value of an operator, it is defined like this. This is actually bra psi A hat ket psi and divided by a scalar product of psi with psi. A scalar product of psi with psi. Or in fact, in the integral form, you write integral for all space psi star A hat of psi d tau or d3r, and integral for all space psi star psi d tau. This is just the definition of expectation value of an operator in a state psi. But if you consider that the state vector psi is normalized, then you know the scalar product of psi with psi in the denominator is equal to 1. So if psi be normalized, if this psi is normalized, then you know that this scalar product of psi with psi, this equal to 1. And therefore, in this condition, you can say that the expectation value of A hat in the state psi is simply equal to bra psi A hat ket psi. This is actually the expectation value of the operator A hat in a state psi. In fact, the time variation of this operator A hat may have three situations. When you consider the time variation or the change in A hat with or time dependence of this A hat, actually there will be three situations. And what are those three situations you will see here, and you will be happy to know that those three situations of the variation of A hat with time actually give rise to three pictures in quantum mechanics. And those three pictures are actually known as the Schrödinger picture, the Heisenberg picture, and the interaction picture or Dirac picture. And actually our beginning lectures will be regarding all these three pictures, and this concept of pictures is very important for you. So you can say there will be three possibilities for the time variation of this expectation value A hat, and what are those three possibilities you can see. So the variation with time of expectation value of A hat may be like these. What are the possibilities? As I have told you, there are three possibilities. First of all, the first possibility is that the state vector psi changes with time, but the operator A hat remains unchanged. So first case we will consider the state vector state vector ket psi changes with time. Changes with time. But A hat remains unchanged. Remains unchanged. This is the first situation. Actually, this first situation give rise to a picture which is called Schrodinger picture of time development. So this gives rise to Schrodinger picture of time evolution. Time evolution. So what will happen in Schrodinger picture of time evolution? In fact, in Schrodinger picture, you will see that the state vector psi or ket psi will change with time. But this operator A hat will not change with time. So when psi will change with time, but A hat will not change with time, then such a picture is known as Schrodinger picture, or you can say that refers the Schrodinger picture of time evolution. Schrodinger picture of time evolution. Now, the second possibility is just reverse of the first possibility. That in second possibility, you can consider that this state vector ket psi does not change with time, but the operator A hat will change with time. So you can say A hat changes with time. A hat changes with time, but ket psi remaining constant or remains constant. In fact, this situation gives rise to another picture which is known as Heisenberg picture of time evolution. So this implies Heisenberg picture of time evolution. So you can see the difference. In Schrodinger picture, the state vector changes with time, but the operator A hat remains unchanged. But in Heisenberg picture of time evolution, the situation is just reverse. Here, the operator A hat changes with time, but the state vector ket psi, or you can simply say psi, does not change. It remains constant. It does not change. And the third situation is the most general situation, where we will consider that both the state vector psi and the operator both change with time. So you can say both A hat and ket psi change with time. Change with time. In fact, this gives rise to the third picture, which is called interaction picture of time development, or it is also known as Dirac picture of time development. So this is interaction picture of time development, or time evolution or development, you can say. time evolution. So you can see there are three pictures in quantum dynamics. First one is called Schrodinger picture, in which the state vector k psi changes with time, but the operator remains unchanged. The second picture is known as Heisenberg picture, in which the state vector remains unchanged, but the operator a hat changes with time. And in the most general picture is known as interaction picture, or it is also called Dirac picture, in which actually both the operator a hat and the state vector k psi or psi change with time. But these are actually the different techniques or different approaches to solve the dynamical problems. As in classical mechanics, you have seen there are basically 5 types of equation of motions. But that does not mean that when we will solve a particular dynamical problem by different approaches, the results will be different. That does not mean result will be same. When a particular problem will be solved by Lagrange equation of motion or Newtonian equation of motion or Hamilton equation of motion or Hamilton-Jacobi equation of motion, final result will be same. Similarly, when you will solve a quantum mechanical dynamical problem by these three approaches, the result will be not different. So you can say, of course, the variation with time of this operator a hat, or the expectation value of a hat calculated in any of these pictures should agree with the observed rate of variation of the expectation value of a hat. So we will see later on the detailed analysis of these pictures separately. It means we will discuss Schrodinger picture, Heisenberg picture, and the interaction picture one by one in very detail. And finally, we will see, by taking a proper example, the problem of linear harmonic oscillator, that in solving the problem of linear harmonic oscillator, the Schrodinger picture and the Heisenberg picture actually agree. There is no difference. Manner of calculation will be different, but the final result will be same. So I hope you have understand what we have to discuss in this quantum dynamics. And so, as I have told you that in this lecture, I would like to give you just a brief account or brief introduction, and what are these three pictures which we have to study in this chapter. Definitely you have a brief idea after this introduction, as I hope.